Welcome to this new Juju live session about the benefits of Egyptian dance. In this live Q&A, I'm going to answer some of the most frequent, interesting, and in my opinion also silly but funny questions around the benefits of Egyptian dance. What happens when you practice Egyptian dance? What do you witness in your body? What changes can you experience in your mind, in your way of being, in your way of dealing with life? Does that even happen? Does Egyptian dance change you from the inside out? So we're going to find out the answer to those questions in this live session. What has improved in you after you have started studying Egyptian dance? What happened of positive after you got involved with this dance? I want to know all about it in the comments. Feel welcome to share your feedback there, and obviously feel welcome to share your questions if you have questions around the theme of Egyptian dance, in particular the benefits we reap when we practice it. Now, before I launch the questions I have selected, and there were a lot of questions as you can imagine, I will present myself as it is the protocol. So my name is Joana Saahirah. Good morning everybody, good night depending on where you are. I'm a world-renowned Oriental dancer, teacher, choreographer, and author, and I'm also the creator of the pioneering Joana Saahirah's World and Joana Saahirah's online dance school, delivering authentic Egyptian dance, personal discovery, and empowerment. I'm going to invite you to join our free and fabulous newsletter. If you do so, you get access to our free ebook, Welcome to Egyptian Dance Wonderland, and you also get access to my inside community and to the offers and gifts and exclusive inspirations I only share with my people. You're going to find the link at the end of this session in the comments to the session. And without further ado, let's dive into the benefits of Egyptian dance. All right, and cheers. I have my coffee with me. It's morning here, so guys, I will start by telling you that the benefits of Egyptian dance will depend on who you study with and what level are you applying to your learning process. What do I mean by this? I believe that different teachers will allow for different experiences, okay? And although some teachers are very focused, I would say exclusively focused on making a student have a good time, for instance. Other teachers may be focused or obsessed about choreography, so they're gonna dump a choreography on your lap and wish you good luck. Other teachers will be focused more on the technique, and other teachers hopefully are focused on everything, because I believe that teaching Egyptian dance is a multi-dimensional experience, okay? At least this is how I see it. So when I teach my students, yes, I teach them dance technique. Yes, I teach them choreography. Yes, history and culture and mentality are there. But I also teach them personal development. I also teach them to know themselves, to explore their identity, to express their identity, to work on their self-confidence, to work on the knowledge they have of their own character and what to do with it in their dance and in their life. So depending on the teacher you have, you're going to have very different experiences, and therefore you're going to reap different benefits. So it's not the same for everybody. It is not the same for every student. It really depends on the teacher you're studying with, and it also depends on how deep you want to go into Egyptian dance. How deep do you want to go there, right? Because we can stay on the surface, okay? We can stay on the, what I call gym classes, nothing against it, okay? I love gym classes. I love a good Zumba class, but it's fun, you know? I'm not gonna go to a Zumba class to learn anything in depth. I know that a Zumba class, it's something to have fun and to put my heart in movement, that's it, okay? So you got to be very careful to check what level of involvement, of depth are you in when you're studying Egyptian dance, because that will also influence the benefits you will reap from it, okay? So it is super important to have these two things in consideration. How deep are you studying the art of Egyptian dance, and with whom? What teacher? Okay, and what is that teacher giving you within the realm of Egyptian dance, which is very wide. All right, after we got that out of the way, I have my first question, and that question is, does Egyptian dance improve my menstrual cramps? Does Egyptian dance improve menstrual cramps and PMS, premenstrual syndrome? Okay, all those swollen stomachs and pain and nausea that so many women, especially teenage women, younger women, experience. And the answer is, in my experience, yes, it does. It does improve. I can tell you from my own life, okay? When I was a teenager, I got serious, strong PMS. It was so bad that I had to stay in bed, okay? And I'm not a sissy, all right? I'm a heavyweight, a strong person. So for me to stay in bed, it's because I'm really dying, all right? And I was really dying every time my period came. And I remember that when I started practicing Egyptian dance, almost miraculously, it disappeared. And I'm not a doctor, and I'm not a specialist in health issues, so I don't even know, to be quite honest, why my PMS disappeared the moment I started to practice Egyptian dance. I can only tell you that it did, okay? And I mean disappeared totally, all right? To the point that I don't even feel anything before having my period. So it is important to acknowledge here that a lot of benefits that Egyptian dance have on the human body have not been studied clinically, scientifically, because then again, you already know Egyptian dance is not even taken seriously, unfortunately, not yet. It will be one day, okay? So it's only natural that when you put that part of the body in movement in the way that we do in Egyptian into place. A lot of things that were unbalanced or hurt or traumatized are gonna start to heal. And then again, this is my personal experience. It is not only my professional experience, okay? Now, let me see if you're sharing any comments, guys, because I cannot see anything from this browser. I don't know why Facebook does this. So in the live session, I cannot see any comments. I have to open another browser. Hi, Grayson. Good morning. Hi, Kay. Hi. Feel welcome to share your questions, okay? And thank you for being here. Now, another question. What happens in the short and in the long run when I practice Egyptian dance? Okay, so I am gonna give you that side note once more about whom you're studying with and how deep you're studying the dance, because the effects that you're going to observe in yourself in the short and in the long run will really depend on the way you're learning Egyptian dance and how deep you're going into it. And I know this sounds obvious, but it's not. I assure you there are many students who don't want to go deep into it, and that's not a problem. It is not a problem. I believe that there is a place for everything and for everyone, okay? Even for bad dance. There is a place for bad dance, okay? And bad teaching. There is a place for everything. Now, you cannot expect to have yourself changed, transformed, healed, empowered if you're not going deep into the art of Egyptian dance. This is the only thing. You cannot have it all. You're either gonna go deep into it and work on the different dimensions this dance awakens in you, or you're gonna stay on the surface, you're gonna have fun, perhaps you're gonna lose some weight, but that's it, okay? You're not gonna feel much more than that. So although there is no obligation to go deep into the craft of Egyptian dance and no obligation to have a professional teacher who knows how to teach you the dance in depth, you have to know that the benefits you're gonna reap in the short and in the long run will depend on those things. Whom you're studying with and how deep you're gonna go into it. And obviously, everybody has the right to use Egyptian dance as they want, just like everybody has the right to use flamenco or tango or salsa or classical ballet the way they want and the way they can. because it's also a question of personal maturity. Not everybody has the same level of personal maturity, and therefore not everybody will enter in the art of Egyptian dance the same way, with the same depth, okay? But that definitely influences the benefits you experience in the short and in the long run. Now, in the short run, the first things that students notice is a better shape, and I mean physical shape, more strength, more flexibility, better muscles, better joints and bones, because everything is working not only on a cardiovascular level, we're putting our blood to run and our heart to beat faster, but we're also strengthening our muscles, our bones, and we're working on coordination and flexibility and a lot of functions that our bodies need in order to become fitter, healthier, stronger. So the first thing students notice in the short run, it's an increase in their physical health, okay? Not necessarily becoming thinner, all right? But getting fitter, because thinner is one thing and fit is another thing. You can be very, very thin and not be fit, okay? And you can be strong and have a round body and be very strong and very healthy. So everything is a little bit more relative than we would like to think it, right? So an increase in physical health, an increase in self-confidence, absolutely. Ask anyone who has practiced Egyptian dance with a professional teacher, and they will tell you almost immediately and without understanding why, they feel more self-confident, okay? They feel more self-confident in their bodies and what their bodies can do. They feel more self-confident in their minds, in their creativity, in their emotion. They start trusting their intuition. They feel more sensual, more in charge of their bodies. They feel more joyful. There is like a dopamine injection every time you do Egyptian dance. It is addictive because it makes you feel good. It is highly pleasurable. It is a sensual art, not because it's meant to seduce someone, but because it's meant to make you feel good, okay? So the immediate effects, I believe, are more physical and mental than anything else, okay? Then in the long run, there are many benefits that you will witness. I've been doing Egyptian dance now for more than 20 years. I mean, perhaps 24, 25 years. I don't do the math, okay? It doesn't matter to me because it feels like yesterday and it feels like an eternity at the same time. But I can tell you from my own experience and from the experience of my colleagues that have been doing this for even longer than me, and the experience of my students who have been with me, some of them for more than 20 years since I started, and some of them a little bit more recently. And there are different effects that for me will be synthesized, will be resumed by self-empowerment. And this is why in my platform, in my work, in my school, Joana Saahirah's online dance school, I use the motto, authentic Egyptian dance, personal discovery and empowerment. Now these terms are starting to be fashionable and I see other dancers using them. I don't know how they're using them, if they're using them because it sounds good. I don't use them because they sound good. These terms, these words, self-discovery, empowerment, they are realities. And they are the sum of what I've experienced in the long run after practicing Egyptian dance personally and professionally for more than 20 years at the highest level. I'm talking about Egypt and then around the world at the biggest stages, presenting Egyptian dance in great festivals for well-educated, prepared audiences. So I'm speaking about a practice of Egyptian dance that is very intensive. It is not a practice that I do every once in a while in an amateur way. So I know a thing or two about the effects of Egyptian dance, and I can tell you that it changes you and it changes your life. If you study it with a teacher who will take you there, and if you study it with the depth that I believe it deserves, okay? Now, what kind of self-discovery and empowerment effects am I talking about? First of all, Egyptian dance can bring you back to yourself, and it can bring you back to yourself in two ways. In a vanity, ego-oriented way, I'm so beautiful, I'm the best, I'm the diva, or in a soul-oriented way. I am a person with a body, with a mind, with a heart, and with a soul, with a unique character, a unique fingerprint that I deserve to experience and to express in this lifetime. So this is what Egyptian dance has done for me. It has changed me. It has allowed me to get out of my cocoon. I was very insecure, if you believe it. I was very shy, if you believe it. I wouldn't open my mouth in a class. I would be the last kid in the last row hiding, although I was a very good student, always very good student, but I was so shy. I would die if a teacher asked me something. I was so insecure and so inside my bubble and so lost in my identity. And I remember that when I started studying Egyptian dance and then working on Egyptian dance, and when I moved to Cairo, and when my career started to bloom and I had to practice Egyptian dance from a deeper level, I remember this notion of being born, or being born again, as if my character was being formed or taking form, taking shape, and actually being out there. So it was not only a question of knowing who I was, who I am, but also a question of being comfortable and confident, living my life according to that identity. So this is nothing short of miraculous. And when I say that Egyptian dance can change you and your life, then again, I'm not saying it because it sounds nice. I'm saying it because it happened to me, first of all, and because it happened to so many students I guided, so many colleagues that I know and feel the same thing and had the same experience. Okay, so in the long run, Egyptian dance obviously brings you health. Some colleagues even tell me that Egyptian dance brings you longevity. Because then again, unfortunately, these studies have not been done on a serious scientific way, but we can only argue about our experience. We can only speak about what we witness, yes, in real life, and this is what I'm sharing with you. Another thing that I noticed in the long run that happened to me and happens to all my students that are involved in Egyptian dance for a consistent amount of time is an acceptance of diversity, an acceptance of themselves as they are, and an acceptance of other people. So they expand their mind. They get curious about other cultures, other ways of living, other dance forms. It is not unusual for dancers who have been in Egyptian dance to do other kinds of dance, okay? Because then you are open to different worlds. Remember that when you study Egyptian dance, you're not only studying steps and movements. Although a lot of teachers teach it like that, I disagree with it. I think that in order to teach Egyptian dance, you have to teach a little bit of Egyptian culture and a little bit of Egyptian mentality and values and soul, okay? In order to do that, obviously, you need to know Egypt and you need to love Egypt, which I do from all my heart, okay? So what happens is once you open yourself to this world through the practice of Egyptian dance, you're opening yourself to many other worlds, many other identities, many other cultures, many other mentalities and values and ways of life. And this is what I call civilization. It is becoming an educated, civilized person. And in a global world like the world we live in, this is so important. Our ability to accept the other, our ability to accept the one we cannot understand, our ability to look at other countries and people and cultures and values and accept they're not necessarily the same like ours, okay? They're not necessarily looking like we look. They're not necessarily thinking and feeling and acting the way we do. And that is fine, because this is the variety and the richness of our world. Okay, so these are just some of the benefits in the short and in the long run. I don't want to go too wide on this because I would be here forever. Okay, there are many benefits that we can witness in the practice of Egyptian dance, some more obvious than others, but these are the main ones, okay, that I would like you to keep in mind. Now, does Egyptian dance make my belly bigger? I love this one. And this one falls in the category of silly questions. But still question, right? Does Egyptian dance make my belly bigger? Okay, now here's the thing, guys. Egyptian dance does not make your belly bigger, but because you start accepting your body the way it is, and because you start squeezing yourself to death to look thinner, your tummy may be relaxed. Your tummy may be wider because you are relaxed. Your tummy may be natural, organically shaped because you are not obsessing over fully muscled abdominal wall that looks like those ripped guys in the gym. Okay, so although there is nothing that proves that Egyptian dance extends your belly, makes your belly bigger, it doesn't. Okay, it's quite the opposite. It makes it tighter and it makes your waist tighter. All right, but because you're much more accepting of your body, chances are you're not gonna kill yourself at the gym or at any other place trying to fit into an aesthetic module, an aesthetic standard that is really very unnatural and not the way regular people look like. Okay, so I hope I answered that question. Let me see once more if one of you who are watching has shared anything. Hi Kay, hi Ramos, hi. Kay is asking about the internet. Yeah, you must be having internet issues, Kay, because it's all good on my side. Good morning, Ramos. Good morning. So next question is, are there mental, emotional, and spiritual benefits aside from the physical? Okay, I actually love this question. Now I go back to the teacher that you are studying with. Okay, are there mental, emotional, and spiritual benefits that come with the practice of Egyptian dance aside from the physical? So we went through the physical, at least some of them. You increase your PMS, you increase your health, the strength of your muscles, of your bones, you become healthier, fitter, you become more coordinated, you work on your coordination, more able to do beautiful things with your body, you become more able to feel your body and to take care of your body in a healthy way. You become better in your cardiovascular abilities, so you have more oxygen in your body, you have more energy, you have more life. But you also have, if you go deep into it and if you have the proper training, benefits that are indeed mental, emotional, and spiritual. Mental benefits can go through the ability and how can I shape that? How can I change that if necessary? How can I use my mind to serve me, my dance, and my life instead of sabotaging me, instead of limiting me, right? How can I use my mind to empower me and the ones around me instead of using my mind to destroy me, to limit me, to hurt me and the ones around me? All right, so the management, the awareness and the management of the mind is one thing. Another thing is when you learn Egyptian dance, at least with my method, the method I'm using, for instance, at Joana Saahirah's signature course, our extensive course of Egyptian dance, personal discovery and empowerment available at our school, I teach my through copy paste. Follow me, do as I do. I teach them in a very different way that allows them to connect mind with body. So the way they envision the movements, the patterns, the lines, and the way they connect what they envision with their body is the beginning of the control of the mind. And it's the beginning of the connection between the physical body and the mental body. And from that point, you already know that these two areas, the mind and the body, they are working together 24/7. And if they are working together 24/7, you can manage them that way. You can improve the quality of your thoughts, the quality of your mindset, the quality of your belief patterns, and you know it will affect your physical body. And vice versa. You can work on your physical body and know that it will have an effect on your mind. Right? Another aspect of mental health that I've witnessed with the practice of Egyptian dance has to do with the dealing with the music. Dealing with the music and dealing with silence, which are two ways of meditating. Okay, now I do regular meditation and I meditate in silence. I don't meditate with mantras or with musical anything in the background. I meditate with silence, with my own breath. I do yoga. That's also going with the soundtrack of the breath, especially if you do Ashtanga yoga, which is my case, so you can hear your own breath very clearly. And I know from my own experience that when we are in contact with the breath, with the silence, and with the music, we are meditating. And there is a quality of meditation in Egyptian dance that comes from the quality of the music and also from the contact with our breath, with breathing, with bringing oxygen into our cells. So there is this meditation effect in the practice of Egyptian dance that I believe in the long run brings you peace of mind, mind control, and an anxiety and stress releaser. Okay? These are just a few of the mental benefits, okay? Now, emotionally, what happens when you practice Egyptian dance in the long run with the right teacher, in the right way? It happens that you are invited to acknowledge your emotions, all your emotions, not just the cute, pleasant emotions, all your emotions. And it happens that you're invited, if not obligated, to express them. Okay? So, part of the health, the emotional health that comes with the practice of Egyptian dance has to do with the fact that you cannot run away from your emotions anymore. Egyptian dance is an art form, it's a craft that starts in the heart. Okay, I say this many times, and one day, inshallah, it will be fashionable. Okay, a lot of things I say, people say I'm crazy, and then years later, they are saying those things. Oh, I found out. Yeah, I was saying that 10 years ago. So, forgive me if I say weird things that one day will be considered totally normal and everybody will accept them as absolutely normal. This is one of them. Egyptian dance is coming from the heart. There is a channel in the heart that you have to go through in order to practice authentic Egyptian dance. And I know that these days, the trends we see in Egyptian dance are not very heart-centered or heart-oriented. They are very ego-oriented, very aggressive, very fast, with a lot of movement, meaningless movement, a lot of needless speed, no space for feeling, no time for emotion. And this is what we're witnessing today. But that doesn't mean that's the Egyptian dance I grew to know and love. Okay? It is not. For the record, it is absolutely not. Just looking at dance performances these days makes me have a heart attack of stress because everything is so fast and everything is so aggressive, as if dancers were going into war. It's crazy. So what happens with authentic Egyptian dance is that you're invited to reconnect with your heart. Okay? And you're invited to move from your heart and to make decisions from your heart and to accept that you are a mental creature, but you also are an emotional creature. We are multidimensional creatures, right? We are physical creatures, mental creatures, emotional and spiritual creatures, right? So when Egyptian dance comes into your life, it introduces this multidimensional reality that has always been there. You've always been this multidimensional creature. Anyway, you just don't know about it. You forgot about it. Okay, you're distracted. That's it. So moving from the heart, acknowledging your emotions and expressing your emotions, all of them. There are no prejudices. There is no right or wrong. If I feel sad, I dance my sadness. If I feel happy, I dance my happiness. If I feel furious, enraged, I'm gonna dance that rage. I'm not gonna use masks. I'm not gonna pretend. I'm not gonna create personae to hide who I really am. That's not what this dance is inviting you to do. It's really inviting you to release yourself, to free yourself from masks, and to show yourself as you truly are in your dance and in your life as a consequence. So part of the emotional benefits have to do with this acknowledgement of the heart, starting to move from the heart and make decisions from the heart. Okay, from the wisdom of the heart. There is a brain in the heart. Okay, there are 3 brains. I teach this to my students, okay, in our signature course. 3 brains. The brain that we know, this one, the rational mind, the brain of the heart, and the brain of the womb. Okay, and we're always making decisions from one of these 3 brains, and ideally speaking from the 3 at the same time, but I'm not going to go into that right now. So it is important to remember that so many of us are not feeling our feelings, we are not acknowledging our emotions, and we're certainly not expressing them. And Egyptian dance will invite you to do that, will create the space, the opportunity, and will provide the tools that will allow you to move from the heart and to work with your emotions as if they were waves that come and go. Okay, so you become healthier mentally, emotionally, and you become a person that is not afraid of feeling, not afraid of ultimately being human, which is something that then again is getting lost, not only in Egyptian dance, in everything, in life. We're losing our humanity. And Egyptian dance is, I believe, a very strong tool that will help us preserve and even expand our humanity. And I think that's the biggest gift anything will ever give us, okay? Egyptian dance can give you that, I assure you. This is me talking from my own experience. Now, another question, do I lose my morals and good sense when I practice Egyptian dance? Don't you love this? Oh God, sorry guys. Do I lose my morals and good sense? Ai, eu acredito. When I practice Egyptian dance, it's so good. It's so bad that it becomes so good, right? So the question is, guys, and I will be very blunt, okay? Don't be annoyed with me. If you don't have morals and if you don't have good sense, Egyptian dance is not going to give them to you, but it's also not going to take them away from you, okay? Egyptian dance does not give you or remove good sense and morals and ethics. If you're a good person, if you have a good heart, if you're honest, if you're straightforward, if you have ethical values that you live by, Egyptian dance is only gonna expand that, okay? So Egyptian dance is not a corruptive, naughty activity that you do in the dark. Although you can do that in the dark and you can do it naughty and hidden if you want, but that's not the invitation of the dance. That's your own desire. All right. So don't confuse the dancer with the dance. Very often we see dancers who are not at their best, presenting themselves at their best as women, as dancers, who are not even respecting themselves as women. That is speaking about the dancer. That is not speaking about the dance. I can use Egyptian dance in a very beautiful, dignified, respectful way, or I can use Egyptian dance in a very disrespectful, undignifying way. So the dancer is one thing, the dance is another thing. The way we use the dance is our option, is our choice. It doesn't speak about the dance, it speaks about us, okay? And what we're bringing to the dance. So the answer to this question, which I love, is no, absolutely no. Do I lose my morals and good sense when I practice Egyptian dance? No. Egyptian dance will not give you or remove morals, ethical values, education. If you have them, you have them. If you don't have them, you don't have them. Recently, I had a conversation with a friend who was telling me about someone who asked him if children could practice Egyptian dance. I have mentioned this several times in different occasions. Can children practice Egyptian dance? Will they be corrupted? Will they be destroyed? And my answer to that is very similar to the answer I just delivered. Absolutely not. Obviously, when you teach Egyptian dance to children, if you are a professional teacher who has a notion about pedagogy and methodology and psychology, you know that you cannot teach a group of children the same way you teach a group of adults. So the terminology will be different. The way you're teaching them the movements, some movements, and in some way will be adapted, will be different. The way you create the exercises and the challenges and the lessons for them to learn the dance will be different because they're children. So the language and the approach must be different, must be according to their age, right? But the dance, it's exactly the same. And it is very beneficial for children, by the way, okay? Very beautiful and beneficial for children. So let's remove the association between the person and the ones who practice the dance and the dance itself. There are incredible dancers doing amazing things with Egyptian dance, amazing things. Some of my colleagues are doing artwork, they are doing beautiful choreographies, they're teaching beautiful content. And the same way there are beautiful artistic people doing Egyptian dance in a dignified way, there are also lousy people who don't even know what they're doing. And it's fine. I do believe it's fine. There is a place for everybody, okay? I'm not against anyone or anything. I'm just pro quality, okay? So I focus on quality and I focus on the people who are doing quality stuff and the ones who are not, who are bringing Egyptian dance down and bringing their lack of standards to their dance. I'm just gonna wish them luck and obviously, you know, bless them. I mean, what can I do? I do my own mistakes. I have my own ignorances and nobody's perfect. So we're only human, okay? Now, is Egyptian dance safe for pregnancy? I absolutely love this question, and let me take a sneak peek right here to see, guys, your comments, not to leave you unattended. This is a bummer. Why Facebook does that? I don't know. Hi, Morag. Morag says, I'm being born again, finding this art form again in my life. And as I have said before, you are a pivotal part of this, Joanna. Oh, thank you, Morag. Thank you for letting me know, for letting us know. I am so happy to know that. And yes, you have told me that. Thank you, my dear. Morag is at our school, at Joana Saahirah's Online Dance School. It's one of our gorgeous students. And obviously, guys, just reading Morag's comment, something else comes to my mind. The same way Egyptian dance can benefit you on so many levels, it also takes the shape of who you are. So who you are is gonna shape your experience in Egyptian dance, okay? And the more open-hearted, the more ready to grow, the more humble and confident you are, the more you're gonna benefit from this dance, okay? Because it takes courage to dive deep into a dance form, into an art form, into a history and mentality and culture that are not our own. And most dancers are not Egyptians, right? Most dancers are foreigners who have fallen in love with Egyptian dance and somehow decided to go deeply into it. And I have deep respect for these students. I was one of them. I'm still a student. I will always be a student. And I think it takes a lot of passion and love to do that, to go deep into something so foreign to us and to allow it to change us. But remember that the person you bring to the dance also shapes the dance, okay? So make sure you're the best version that you can master to be, okay? And make sure that you bring your best to the dance. One thing will feed the other. Now, answering the question, is it safe for pregnancy? Is Egyptian dance safe for pregnancy? Now, if you are a healthy person without issues, okay? If you have a healthy pregnancy, a healthy body, I would say that Egyptian dance is not only allowed, but it is advisable, okay? And there have been done studies about this. It has been proven that Oriental dance, Egyptian dance, what people know as belly dance, is a valuable tool for pregnancy, for the preparation of birth, and also the birth moment, the labor. There is a beautiful teacher whom I've hosted twice at our platform, Mahal Musa. She teaches Oriental dance for birth. She does a beautiful work. She has a great book about it. And she's an example, a living example of how Egyptian dance can be a part of your pregnancy, can empower your pregnancy, can empower your labor, the moment when you give birth. And in fact, this is the original purpose of Egyptian dance. And in places like Morocco, you still have women gathering in circles and dancing what we know as belly dance or Egyptian Oriental dance, raqs sharki, in order to help the woman who is giving birth to have a soft, fluid, easy birth. So Egyptian dance is used in labor, okay? The movements of the hips, the movements of the womb, the shimmies, all of that working with gravity, working with the womb in a soft, natural, instinctive way. Absolutely. My answer is, if you're healthy, yes. Egyptian dance is not only allowed, but it is advisable. Please do have fun. Dance, dance, dance. And if you can, dance when you're giving birth. What a beautiful way to be born. Can you imagine a child who is coming into the world from a mom, from a mother who is dancing? Ah, yes. So what else? Does Egyptian dance make me more sensual? Aha. By the way, I forgot to tell you a little bit about the spiritual benefits, but I'll keep that for the end, okay? I forgot that one. Let's see if I don't forget it. I'm making a note. So does it make me more sensual? Does Egyptian dance make you more sensual? And I think the answer to this one is so obvious that it hurts. Okay? Yes, it does, but probably not the way you think. Okay? So usually when we speak about Egyptian dance and when we speak about sensuality, what pops into most people's minds is what? The woman seducing the man, this kind of lewd, seductive, alluring, naughty dance, mixing exotic movements with seductive movements, and the serpent and the obelisk and the sultan. Guys, this is a cocktail of images, myth, prejudices, and history and fantasy that does not necessarily correspond to the truth. Okay, so yes, Egyptian dance makes you more sensual, but not in that way. And I've done a Juju live session about sensuality and seduction before, so you might want to check that one. I'm gonna actually share the link to that one, the replay of that Juju live session, in the comments to this video here on Facebook. And also, when I have this replay in my YouTube channel, at Joana Saahirah's YouTube channel, I'm going to share the link of this Juju live session about sensuality and seduction in the description box below the video, because I think it's a very important session for you to watch. And in that session, I make it quite clear that seduction is not the same as sensuality, okay? Seduction is me having a target and chasing that target and hitting that target. I'm gonna do something to seduce someone. That's seduction. Sensuality is something I do for my own pleasure. Okay, sensuality is about feeling good in my own skin. It's about feeling at ease, feeling free, feeling confident, feeling joyful, full of enthusiasm and strength and stamina and focus. This is what sensuality is. And this is what Egyptian dance can do for you. Absolutely. I would say that becoming more sensual in your dance, in your life, in the way you deal with your body, in the way you deal with life, enjoying life more, okay? This is perhaps the most well-known and widely observed benefit, okay, in the practice of Egyptian dance. There is like this colorful vision that suddenly comes to your mind. The image that comes to my head when I talk about this is, before Egyptian dance, my life was black and white. And after Egyptian dance, my life was multicolored. And believe me when I tell you this, I've heard different dancers saying exactly the same thing. Okay, this is not unique in me. I think about black and white before Egyptian dance and multicolored reality after Egyptian dance, and I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one who says this. So it is important for you to understand that sensuality, it's like an awakening for life. It's like a joie de vivre, Okay, joy of living. It's about the fire in the womb. It's about this, that stamina, that strength, that passion for life, for the pleasures, for the joys, for the possibilities of life. It has nothing to do with seducing someone. Okay, and yes, Egyptian dance makes you more sensual, 100%. 1,000%. And by making you more sensual, it also makes you more alive, more creative, more perseverant, stronger, empowered, and empowered meaning in your own power. In your own power to enjoy your life and to create the life that makes sense for you. So yes, it does. Absolutely. And that in itself is a benefit that would deserve all the recognition and would ideally earn Egyptian dance the credit it belongs to it. Okay, so it is important for you to understand that sensuality is a life force. Sensuality is the fire, the flame that keeps us healthy, that keeps us going, that keeps us thriving, that keeps us in love with reality, in love with life despite everything. Okay, so this is not a small thing. It's a life-changing thing, and Egyptian dance can do it for you absolutely, 100%. Now, just to close the session, guys, I'm gonna give another look to the comments and see what you're telling me, and I'm gonna tell you a bit about the spiritual benefits of Egyptian dance. Okay, the spiritual benefits of Egyptian dance. So I covered a little bit of the physical benefits, I covered a little bit of the mental and emotional benefits, but then there are the spiritual benefits. And I know that for a lot of people, talking about spiritual benefits or spirituality and Egyptian dance is a contradiction. It's ridiculous, right? If we go to Egypt, for instance, the words Raqs Sharqi and spirituality or soul, ruh, are connected in a way, but in another way are very contrary to each other. So in Egypt, Egyptian dance is considered forbidden by God, okay, haram. It is not something respectful, especially if you do it professionally. It is not something that men would like their women to do, their daughters, their friends, their wives, no way, their sisters. But nonetheless, it is part of their culture and it is part of the Egyptian psyche and the Egyptian joy and the Egyptian identity. So there is a lot of contradiction going on in Egypt in relation to Egyptian dance, okay? Egyptians love it, but they also hate it on another level and they find it very dangerous and disrespectful. Haram, yani haram, aib, not polite, not nice for a lady, okay? But that's a discussion for another Juju live session. Now, why am I saying this? Because in fact, from my experience, although in Egypt and in other realms, Egyptian dance has no connection with spirituality, it's actually the opposite of spirituality for a lot of folks, okay? In my experience, Egyptian dance can be a spiritual practice. It can be a religious practice, depending on how you do it and why you're doing it, okay? So I can use my dance, and I do use my dance to reconnect with myself, reconnect with my soul, reconnect with my heart, to pray, to meditate, to be with myself in silence or with music, and to ask life, God, whatever you may like to call it, to guide me. I have used Egyptian dance as a spiritual practice, as a tool of reconnection with my soul since I started. And I did that because I was so lucky. I had excellent teachers who showed me that was possible. I could use Egyptian dance in a way to reconnect with my soul. They showed me in practice that this could be a spiritual practice, okay? And I have confirmed it throughout the years. So some of the benefits you can witness on a spiritual level are, first of all, the reconnection with your soul. So many dancers don't even know they are a soul. You don't even have a soul. You are a soul. You have a body, which is something different, okay? So most of us think we are a body and we eventually have a soul, but we don't even know what that is, if it exists or not. It's quite the opposite. From my experience, you are not a body. You are not your body. You are the soul. You are your soul. Okay? Your body is a passenger. It will go, okay? So, and this is something that Egyptian dance has reconfirmed again and again and again. If I had any doubt that we are souls and that our souls are eternal, if I had any doubt, and I have no doubt about that for many reasons I'm not gonna go into right now, the practice of Egyptian dance would have dispersed my doubts, okay? Because every time I'm dancing, every time I'm connecting to the music, to the movement, to myself on a deep level, and then again, remember what I told you, depends on the level that you practice Egyptian dance, depends on the teachers that are teaching you, okay? I am back to my own essence. I am back to my own soul. I am in contact with who I am beyond this physical body. I'm in contact with that source of wisdom, that source of guidance, which is my soul. I am in contact with my ego, with my smaller self, with my ambitions, with my fears and insecurities, but I'm also in contact with my soul. In Egyptian dance, we have the process of tarab. That is a concept very well known amongst Oriental dancers, the concept of tarab, of transcendence, of bliss, of ecstasy, of elevation, of transporting ourselves with the music, leaving the ego behind and accessing, meeting, going back to our soul, even if just for a few seconds. That concept of tarab symbolizes a lot of what I understand by the spiritual benefits of Egyptian dance. This is the ability to reconnect with our soul, not every once in a while, but all the time as a default mode. The more you practice Egyptian dance and the more it becomes a part of your life, the more you are in contact with your own essence, with your own soul, with your own spirit. So you start seeing yourself and life in a much wider, bigger way, okay? You start making decisions in your life not from your ego, not from your fear, not from your ambition, not from trends and fashions and what others tell you it's cool, but from your essence. You start to decide what matters to you independently from everybody else, with freedom, with authenticity, and with a deep respect for the person that you are, for your essence, okay? Aside from that, what I believe Egyptian dance can bring you spiritually, it's a reverence for the invisible world, okay? And I know this sounds woo-woo to a lot of people. In my first published book, The Secrets of Egypt, Dance, Life and Beyond, I speak about this. I called it the invisible dance. And then again, at the time, in 2013, when I published the book, I was mocked and people were telling me I'm crazy. I received emails, funny emails that I have saved till today, of dancers telling me, what the hell are you talking about, invisible dance? This is ridiculous. And now they're teaching it. You're welcome. Now they're teaching it, okay? Why? Because Egyptian dance deals with the physical world and it deals with the invisible world. It deals with the material, what you can see, and it deals with the energy. It deals with the thoughts. It deals with the emotions. Everything that you can feel from a dancer, but you cannot see. This is part of what I call the invisible dance, okay? So when you practice Egyptian dance, you start to become comfortable, aware, and totally familiar with the invisible world, with the spirit, with the importance and the power of energy, the importance and the power of thoughts, of the energetic vibration that you are feeding in yourself, of the quality of your belief patterns, the quality of your emotions. You become aware of the interconnectedness between body, mind, heart, and soul, and how your energy, how your invisible dimension shapes your reality. It shapes your dance, it shapes who you are, and it shapes your life. Now, obviously, what I'm bringing you is the juice of the juice, okay? In order to witness these things and in order to understand fully what I'm sharing with you, you gotta join the boat. You gotta learn the dance and you gotta practice it and give it time, okay? And with time and the correct practice, these benefits come. These benefits will be yours as well, okay? So I'm gonna close the session now, taking a sip of my coffee, and obviously inviting you to share your questions about Egyptian dance, okay? I'm always open to your doubts. I'm always open to your feedback, even if I don't agree, okay? I receive a lot of emails and messages of dancers who are not even my students, but dancers who want to connect with similar opinions to mine, similar content, but also very different content. And I love that. So guys, even if you disagree with me, if you have different experiences, different feedbacks around Egyptian dance, different visions, perspectives, I'm interested. Let me know what you think, okay? Email me, send me a private message, tell me what you think, because I believe it is from this exchange that we grow together, okay? You don't have to agree with me. I don't have to agree with you. I can listen to you. I can see where you're coming from and perhaps learn from your experience, okay? So feel welcome to share your questions at all times, and I will see you very soon at another Juju live session. Once more, I'm going to invite you to join our newsletter, Joana Saahirah's World Newsletter. If you want to receive our free ebook, Welcome to Egyptian Dance Wonderland, and if you want to become the first to receive our news, our gifts and inspirations, I'm going to share the link for you to join either in the comments to this session if you're watching it on Facebook, or if you're watching it in my YouTube channel, in the description box below the video. I will see you soon, guys. Have a wonderful day and keep practicing Egyptian dance and growing with it, okay? I love you. See you soon. Big kiss. Yeah. Mwah.